In this video, I'll show you how to scrape. Let's start with the easy scraping. I'm going to get some data from the Wikipedia page of Charles Bukowski. So this is the page, as you can see. And basically what you do to get data from this page is you send a request. So you input requests and you get the URL that you want to scrape. In this case, this is the URL. And so what you see happens. And so what you will see in a second is this request was successful because we have code 200 and we can see the content of it. And that is nice, but now we want to extract some specific data. And so, for example, say we wanted to get all the links that are present on this page. We could do so by first going through Beautiful Soup. What Beautiful Soup is basically just a parser, and it takes your content, which is currently a string, and it turns it into basically an HTML. So if you are familiar with just the basic structures that are present in HTML, so paragraphs, body, title, headings, all that kind of stuff, you can basically use those to get specific data that you want. I'll just show you real quick. So first of all, you can get all the text, so all the content of the tags, which, it can be useful, but it really depends on the kind of application that you're working on. But say you wanted to get all the links, we know that A is the tag for links, and so we can use soup.findAll, and then we pass in A, and we got all the links. The same goes for any other tag that you might see in the web page. So spans, divs, everything. You can also select using classes. And so to do so, you again use the findAll function, and you pass in the class with an underscore afterwards. And in this case, I got the infobox biography vcard. And here we have all of that. And again, you can also use an ID, and this is the way to do so. Now, say if you wanted to extract something from within a tag, you can do that as well. And that is through a get function within the results of your find function. So first of all, I got all the links with soup.findAll A, and then I used the get function to get the href, so basically the link to which that specific link is pointing to. But once you get the response, you basically just have to look inside of your response to find the data that you're looking for. In this kind of application, you can ask ChatGPT because it's very good at dealing with unstructured data, and so it can basically just tell you right away what kind of elements you should be getting to get the data that you're looking for. Now, there is a second level to this, because most websites don't want you to be scraping. They don't want to give away their data, at least not easily. And so this is a second website that I'm going to show you, and we'll try to scrape this first. So let me show you how it goes. This is the URL, and we're going to make a GET request to this URL. And this, now that it's run, press 2, we get a response 403, which is unauthorized. And the content is just a moment, and basically it doesn't load anything because the website doesn't want us to have access to its data. And so in this case, what I found out to be useful is you have to inspect the network. And what usually happens is there is a request from within the website that retrieves the data that you're looking for. And so as you can see here, there are all of these requests that are going on behind the scenes, and you should be paying particular attention to the size of them. As we can see here, this is by far the largest request that there is. And if we open this up, we get all of the odds for these matches. So basically all of the data is stored within this URL instead of the one that you're using as a client. So the request needs to be made to this address instead. Now, you can do this using request.get. I'll just do URL3 equals our new URL, requests.get. And let's try getting this, right? You might think we're done, but you'll find out in a second that we're not, because once again, we're not authorized to this. And so, for the second time, this doesn't work. The way around this is by using Selenium. So, Selenium basically is a library that you can use for web scraping, but also it emulates a web browser. So we need to import WebDriver from Selenium. We create a Chrome driver, and so let me create that. Okay, so as you can see here, it's opened a WebDriver. Now we make from Selenium a request to this URL by using driver.get. And as you can see, our Selenium page now contains the data. And to get the data now, all we have to do is get the page source. And finally, we have our data. Here it is. Okay, perfect. Very good. Another thing that Selenium can do is basically click buttons. And I'll show you in a second another example that I've used once again. Let me just close this driver now that we got the data. Okay, that's been closed. Now, you need to import if you want to click buttons, if you want to create a more advanced scraper, if you want to create a more dynamic scraper as well. You need to import this by. And now I'll show you what I've done when trying to scrape some Airbnb pages. So as you can see here, this is the Airbnb page. And actually, when you open it through an incognito page, this pop-up comes in. And so until you don't press this X, the page source is actually not available. So to do so, we need to identify how to click this button. And again, we inspect the page, and this is the button. And we use the area label. So we've seen that the area label had this ID. And so first of all, I'll make the call to this URL through Selenium. As you can see, this pop-up again comes up. And if I try to get the driver.source page source, I don't get most of the elements. Actually, you don't see it now, but you can believe me, it doesn't work. And so to get all of the elements, what we need to do is to click that button. And so we find the element using the, I'll show you once again, using the ARIA label. Here it is. ARIA label equals QD. And so we put that in here. So now we can click the button. As you can see, it's been clicked. And now we can get the page source, and our scraping is done.